This lesson we're going to look at the quotient rule. Now the quotient is exactly what it suggests, is that now we've got to differentiate things with fractions, okay? Which is the opposite of the, well, it's not the opposite, but it's the reverse of what the product rule is, which should have been the previous lesson. Alright, so if we look at our formula sheet, we do have the quotient rule. And unlike the product rule, I actually like this a bit better. We still have this UV scenario, so U is still first, it's on top, and V second, it's on the bottom here, okay? And notice that we start with V. Now this is why it's really important with the product rule that you always start with V, because you don't want to get confused later on down the track, okay? So we're going to look how this gets derived by doing a couple of examples. So off we go. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is draw my line in the middle of the page just like normal. Now this is in the form y equals u over v. Alright, now u is the top one, so that's 3x plus 1, and v is the bottom one, so that's 2x minus 2. Now we know we can use the quotient rule because it's got a fraction. But in this example we're not. We're just going to use the product rule and index laws like we've been using. So to do the product rule I need u dash, so u dash equals just 3 and v dash equals just 2. So I did give it away that I was going to use index laws, so let's write this as an index here. 3 plus 1 bracket 2 minus 2 to the power of 1. Now that comes from this being at the bottom of the fraction, so that means it's to the power of 1. So now let's just write the product rule. So y dash, always start with v. U dash plus u v dash. Alright, now let's substitute it in. And in actual fact, I've missed something because I'm doing it this way. Our v, we've changed things around. This is to the minus 1 because this is u and this is v now. Alright, so v dash will be, in the brackets it stays the same. The indice goes down by 1. And we multiply by negative 1 because that's the indice there, multiply by the front. And then we multiply by the derivative of inside the brackets, which is just 2. And we can clean that up by putting minus 2, 2x minus 2 to the power of negative 2. Okay, now we can actually do what we need to do. So y dash equals, what's v? That's 2x minus 2 to the negative 1. U dash is just 3, so times 3. Plus u is 3x plus 1. And v dash is what we just did here. So let's do it times minus 2, 2x minus 2 to the power of negative 2. Now I can clean this up because I can see I can make both of them into fractions. So let's do this. So y dash equals, and I'm going to go 3, and because that's to the power of negative 1, I'm going to put that down the bottom, 2x minus 2, plus, well, I'm going to put minus because I'll bring this guy to the front. So I'm going to go 2, 3x plus 1, and at the bottom I'm going to have 2x minus 2 squared. Alright. Now I've almost got one fraction because my denominators are pretty much the same. I only have to multiply the denominator down here by itself. So that means I'm going to have the same denominator. So let's look at that. So y dash equals 3. 2x minus 2 minus 2x plus 1 all over this same denominator, because by multiplying it by itself we get the same thing. So we get 2x minus 2 squared. So this last step, all I was doing was equivalent fractions, so I can add, and in this case subtract fractions. Okay, and that's our answer. So we've differentiated this quotient by using the product rule. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing using the quotient rule, which is this rule here, but I'm going to give it to you in U dashes and V dashes, and hopefully we get to the same result. So let's get on to it. So this one certainly is in this form, U over V. So remember I made that mistake in the start. So I go 3x plus 1, U dash equals 3, V equals simply just 2x minus 2, and V dash equals just 2. All right. Now what's the quotient rule? Well, this is where the V starting first is very important. Y dash equals V, always start with V, U dash. Now, because it's quotient, we're going to, instead of plus, we're going to go minus, and then U, V dash. Now, the one extra thing, it actually has a fraction, and it's always going to be over this squared, so V squared, all right? So that's the one extra thing you have to remember. Well, there's two. There's the minus and the fact that it's over the V squared. Otherwise, it's the same as the product rule. Now, let's substitute it in. Y dash equals, what's V? 2x minus 2, U dash, that's just 3, so times 3, minus U, 3x plus 1, V dash, it's just 2 times 2, over, what's V squared? Well, it'll just be that to the power of 2, okay? So let's do that. 2x minus 2 to the power of 2. Therefore, y dash equals 3, 2x minus 2, minus 2, 3x plus 1, all over 2x minus 2 squared. Ooh, that looks very familiar. That's exactly what we get here by doing the product rule. And in actual fact, the quotient rule is the product rule. But we always get this situation of the V squared happening when we use product rule because of negative indices. And when we derive negative indices, like if it's to the power of negative 1, it's going to go down by 1, which is negative 2. All right. Now, you don't have to remember that. All you have to do is choose which method you're going to use. Now, because this video is about the quotient rule, my next example, I'm going to go straight into the quotient rule. All right, so let's get it in. U is the top, so it's 3x. V is x squared plus 2. U dash equals 3. V dash equals just 2x. All right, let's get straight into it. Y dash equals, it's going to be over V squared. We know that. And then always start with what letter? V, the second one. V, U dash, minus U, V dash. Don't forget the minus, all right? Very, very important. Y dash equals, what's V? X squared plus 2. U dash equals 3. Minus U, 3x. V dash is that one there, times 2x. All over V squared. So that's going to be x squared plus 2 squared. Let's clean it up a bit. Y dash equals 3, x squared plus 2, minus 6x squared, all over x squared plus 2 all squared. Now, I already see there's an opportunity here to ski jump and then to group like terms. That's probably something we should do. But right at this point, we have differentiated it. So y dash equals 3x squared plus 6 minus 6x squared over x squared plus 2 squared. Therefore, y dash equals minus 3x squared plus 6 over... I almost see another opportunity. We can factorize 3 out, and we get x squared if we take the minus out, plus 2, and if we ski jump that, we're going to get the same result. So we get x squared plus 2 squared. So we can cancel that and that out. Therefore, y dash equals minus 3 x squared plus 2. All right, so that's the quotient rule. And remember, it's always in this form, u over v. All right, I feel like I've talked way enough. The best thing you can do is just practice. So, peace out.